the silent intelligence.
All right, it's my pleasure to interview Melissa Simpler of Affinegy and Allseen Alliance. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Daniel.
So I wanted to start you to tell us a little bit more about Affinegy and how did you become part of Allseen Alliance?
Great, that's a perfect question, Daniel. So Affinegy has been around before the Allseen Alliance. The business was launched in 2003, around the era that Wi-Fi became somewhat of an impulse purchase for consumers, because once you're untethered from the wires, you want to be wireless everywhere, and that was creating tremendous headache in the market. So Affinegy made a software solution that worked on any router or gateway product that we sold to the cable operators and telcos to deliver home networking as a value-add service on the broadband pipe. Our vision has long been from entrepreneurial work we did at Motorola, bringing IP video to the home through the PowerPC architecture, that the home network was the strategic engagement point for the consumer spend. And we continue to see that as more clouds are servicing up these IP services and more devices are connecting within the home. When we started the business, it was PCs and printers, and then it rapidly grew to smartphones and tablets, and now home automation and wellness and fitness and sprinkler systems and appliances and more. So it's the inflection now is Internet of Things, and I think 2015 is a pinnacle year for this inflection. Affinegy identified this opportunity in 2013, and we're often ahead of our time, which is sometimes good and sometimes not good. When Qualcomm announced that they were going to open source 4 years of their innovation work in creating a language for all devices to talk to each other, we signed up the day that press release hit the wire, and so we're considered a founding member of the Allseen Alliance. We play a very key role. Art Lancaster, the CTO of Affinegy, chairs the Gateway Agent group with Qualcomm and Affinegy and other member groups. We're helping that proximal local area language get out to the cloud for the user to have control of their devices securely when they're away from home, and for businesses to be able to deliver managed secure scaled services to all those devices to the customers wherever they are at their endpoint.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Sure.
And if you talk a little bit more about Allseen Alliance, what kind of members, what kind of companies become part of Allseen Alliance?
We have more and more members signing up every day.
How much did you grow over the last year?
We've grown tremendously. And the momentum we're really at the inflection point right now, which is very exciting. You're speaking about Affinegy or Allseen Alliance?
Allseen Alliance.
Okay. Allseen Alliance has grown from 23 members in December 13 to over 150 today, and it is like an exponential curve. The membership is comprised of the major consumer electronics and appliance manufacturers of the world, augmented by home security and automation, fitness and wellness services like ADT and AT&T Digital Life, software manufacturers like Symantec, and if you just go to the website, you'll see that there's big global companies and then smaller companies, and there's Kickstarter-like companies and global giants, so it's very dynamic.
So, and Allseen Alliance also has like a certification program, or is there's some tag that comes on the product that says they're Allseen compatible, right? Can you talk
that
a
is
bit
correct.
More about that?
Certainly. Today we have a self-certification program for the Alliance, and there is a mark that companies like LG are putting on their smart TV boxes. This is an area of the Alliance that has had significant investment in 2015. The Alliance has identified a third-party lab, and by the end of the summer we'll be doing formal certifications and have a new mark that is a designated third party rather than self-certification. There's 75 products in market today that run all join code that are deployed, and there's over 10 million products in the market, greatly fueled by active companies like LG and their smart TV volume worldwide.
So you mentioned smart TVs, and but what other devices are mostly propagated through Allseen
Today?
Alliance?
There are a lot of connected lighting. So there's a company, Lifix, who's been a key member. There are sound system and entertainment devices, and Panasonic, and phone with their gramophone product, and a whole range are there. And then we also have the appliance manufacturers, the LG, Haier, and Electrolux have just formed a working group to ensure a common UX UI, so that the smart refrigerator or the smart stove works exactly the same way amongst these previously warring companies.
And they're all parts of Allseen Alliance?
These are all members of Allseen Alliance. So in the smart TV space, it's actually everybody but, you guessed it, Samsung. But it's Panasonic, Sharp, Sony, Toshiba, and LG.
Wow.
And like that, also in the appliance space, we have Haier, Electrolux, LG, Panasonic. You know, we have them pretty much all covered.
So what's some of the interesting use cases for Allseen that you can mention?
Allseen has really developed a very rich application protocol layer that allows devices to, first of all, get automatically identified and onboarded to your network. And then when the device comes online, it broadcasts out, I'm a refrigerator and here's what I can do. And then once that is grabbed by the other Allseen devices, they can start talking and managing behavioral controls between each other, depending on what they're programmed to do when they receive the message. So the smart lock could say, you know, the door is open, and the thermostat would then turn off to not waste energy when the door is opened. Those are the kinds of use cases that are supported. It gets very broad very quick.
Very true.
Another very interesting aspect of the protocol in market today is what we call the notifications. And notifications allow any screen to be the display of those messages in the household. For Affinegy, where we provide a connected device and service management platform for cable and telco today that is expanding into the connected product cloud-enabled world, we call this push care, because we want to eliminate the need for the user to pull out a screen, a computer and launch a portal, or a phone and launch an app. If you can push the message to the smart TV while you're sitting on the couch and say, Junior's on the iPad after his bedtime, would you like to shut him off? Or you can say the video you're watching is glitching because of a network performance problem, and then push a button to have it fixed or take action. That's a very cool application that's ready today.
And so can you also integrate like iOS devices with the, like you mentioned iPad or so on, or how does that work?
That's a very good question. So you can certainly integrate those today. Apple has its own initiative for how their ecosystem comes together to have smart experiences and automations called HomeKit. And then I guess they have another one called HealthKit. These protocols will be in the Apple ecosystem, and I don't even think there's real deployed stuff today. It's just the architecture and plans have been laid. It is the intention of member companies like Affinegy to interface the gateway agent to other application protocols like HomeKit that will have major market adoption, because it is about being the digital glue for the things that have real market presence. So maybe that answers your question.
Excellent. Yeah, very much true. And so you were talking about use cases. You also mentioned like door locks and thermostats and so on. And I was also thinking about Thread, who we also had on the panel earlier. And Thread kind of focused their all efforts around the locks and thermostats, kind of low bandwidth communication devices. And we also talked about that Allseen is now works with Thread. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. So through one of the Thread members, Freescale, developed code that allows all join messages to be sent to the Thread layer by incorporating that functionality into what's called the all-join core. All-join is application layer, Thread is more of a transport layer. These two things are very complementary. They work hand in hand. So that tight coupling, I think, is actually very exciting, because I do think that Thread is playing a great role for the industry. But if you look at the lock market itself, there are other locks that are not operating on the same protocols.
Right.
There are lots of different devices do different things. So I think we're rapidly evolving to this case where you need to have a multi-protocol device and network management platform like Affinegy CHARIOT
Excellent.
to get you there.
So now, if you were to talk to somebody who is interested in joining Allseen Alliance, what would be your message to them? Why do you think somebody should join Allseen Alliance?
I think that Allseen Alliance has the broadest and most range of member companies and the most momentum of any of the IoT initiatives within the industry. So I think the Allseen Alliance does a very good job of recruiting new members and having good price points for the members to join. So it's structured by how large or small your company is to be involved. The member base is very active. It's a code-first organization, so they host hackathons and summits and get involved in conferences like this. So the visibility opportunities are tremendous, and it's a global organization with global members, so around the world. It's been great for Affinegy to be part of that. I believe there's also, because it is a code-first collaborative organization, the member companies come ready to play together. And I just gave you a great example earlier of warring appliance manufacturers who are not particularly cooperative in their local markets, who are working together in this organization to make a difference.
Excellent. Thank you very much. The last question I have is, how do you like your Apple Watch?
Well, I am a geek girl, so I can put up with a lot of 1.0 stuff. And I guess I think it has some very interesting utilities, and I do think that this wearable does have the opportunity and potential to be a replacement in large part to a smartphone. Certainly it's always on my wrist, so it's a great remote control for things like the smart home and unlocking doors.
Wow.
Today this product is more useful for messaging, so it works very robustly for things like calendar reminders and alerts, and it has a cutesy integration of Apple Maps to navigation, where the phone and the watch talk to each other, and it kind of buzzes you like a turn signal in your car.
Wow.
But where it falls down is in very basic use cases. This is a half smart product because there's no cellular radio.
Right.
And it has all the technology to be able to buzz your wrist when you walk out of range of your phone, and it falls down on the job. I learned firsthand. And the other surprising thing is that the health app is currently just buggy. The other day it told me I worked out for 16 minutes mid-morning when I put in a full hour of sweat with heartbeats measured for that full hour.
That's
I wanted to smash it.
absolutely unforgivable.
But I'm a tolerant girl, and I do think that this product will be good. I'm very much looking forward to trying out in my home the alarm.com
All right.
app. Tim Cook featured this as the first home automation company to deliver an optimized Apple app, and I'm looking forward to giving that a test drive.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Melissa.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
The Silent Intelligence. Learn more at www.thesilentintelligence.com.